Hey guys, Olga here again. Now we're ready to start on our nose. So I'll go ahead and tell you I have a tendency to make noses either longer or shorter than what's in my reference photo. This is probably due to the fact that I don't measure anything, but as I said, I don't really mind imperfections, and I'm not really aiming for it to be an exact replica of my reference photo. So I'm going to go ahead and get started now. What I typically do is I'm looking for the center of our nose, and then at the tip I just kind of make, it's almost like a marker for me to know where I'm going or what I'm centering this around. But anyway, so here is the tip of her nose. I think I'm pretty close here. Your nose, by and large, particularly on a Caucasian girl, your nose is going to be basically from this inner duct to this inner duct. And this is going to vary, of course, just like all people vary. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit wider set. It's going to come a little bit more into this eye. And then sometimes it's going to be like my nose. My nose is incredibly narrow. So my nose is probably somewhere right here. But anyway, so we've marked this outer edges. And her nose, the sides of it are actually quite a bit higher than her tip. Her tip kind of sinks down a little bit. And we'll pop in our little nostrils. I don't think I spend that much time actually drawing noses. Shading them maybe is a different story, but I mean, it's usually pretty much two holes. That's it. So, and the sides of your nostrils are actually kind of angular. You can see the side of this is kind of like that. And then just next to the nostril is kind of a straight line here. And this side is a little bit rounder. And I actually am going to soften this up just a little bit. Go ahead and erase this little round doohickey I did. Alright. So, once you get your nose mapped out, you can go ahead and add in your shadows, which are really what make a nose look like a nose. So you've got a shadow where the nose comes into the cheek, or the flesh of the face right here. The inside of your nostril here will usually catch some light, so you'll have a little highlight here on this rim of your nostril. And our light source is over here, so this side is going to be lighter. You can actually see where the light hits this side of her nose, and she's got a highlight right here under this nostril. So keep this in mind. This side of your face will be a little bit darker. Likewise, the shadow over here is going to be cast darker. And you can just build these shadows up. And again, I use my finger to blend everything. I think some people use tissues or I have those little nubby things, but I feel like I'm not as much in control when I use them as I am with my finger. You gotta make sure your fingers are clean though. If you have too much oil on your fingers, you're gonna have very defined little smudge marks in here. Okay, so we've got a shadow here. And don't see a nose when you're doing this. Just see lines. Forget everything you think about a nose. Just see lines and differences in color. Like some dust feathers to get you in the drawing mood. Some Tyler Durden egging you on. And I would talk more about what I'm doing here, but I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm adding. That's helpful, I'm sure. I'm genuinely just using my reference photo to show me what's darker and what's lighter. And then I'm adding super fine lines until I get the darkness I'm looking for. And again, make sure you're using really light line so that if you need to erase anything, which is a perfectly normal part of drawing, or maybe it's not normal, it's normal for me then. You can erase it if you need to. Make really sharp, distinct, dark lines. You're going to have some problems covering it up later. And as I said before, the best way, when you're using graphite, the best way to add highlight is just to make the surrounding area darker. So we've got this nice highlight here where the light is hitting the bridge of her nose. But in order to make that stand out, all I'm doing is making the surrounding area darker. And we will go in with the eraser at the end and add highlight, which will make it really pop. But making your drawing darker is the easiest way to add highlight. Alright, and because the light is hitting her on her left side or our right side, she's got this shadow under this side of her nose. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in, which will again give you more depth. Remember, your shadow is going to be darkest at the closest to the nose, and then it's going to get a little bit lighter as it falls further away from your nose, her nose, whatever nose you're drawing. And see how adding in this shadow under her nose actually kind of made the nose itself look lighter? Or I think it did. That may be my own delusion. But it looks lighter to me now, just because by contrast we have this shadow. And just under the nostril, where the inside part of, well, the part closest to the base of your face, where it meets up, a little bit darker right there. So just where the nair touches part above your lip. And likewise we have it over here too. I'm adding in some highlights right now. And I do this periodically just to make sure what I'm doing looks right. Just to make sure I'm right in color and shading. I kind of think we're done with the nose. Nothing's really standing out for me right now. Probably come in here and add some more shading as I get closer to finish this whole piece. Pretty much it. Now when you're doing noses where you're kind of looking up towards the nostrils, that can get a little tricky. It's also really hard to make someone look attractive when you're looking up their nostrils, but it can be done. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to you for now, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to start working on the lips. And then I guess the final thing we'll do is we'll add, we'll finish off the rest of the face and add shading to everything and just do any touch-ups we might need to do. So stay tuned just a little bit.